So in that book, you talked about one of the quotes was, "I understand the pain a father can cause,"
Mm.
and I'd like to go down that road for a minute or two, and just kind of have you speak to that part of the book.
Yeah, no, that's good. I had a neat, one of the neatest testimonies I've heard from the book so far is someone reached out to me and um, couldn't believe that I was able to speak to the pain and the trauma of she felt so strongly that it had spoken so much to her about the pain that her father had caused. And she's like, how did you write that? Because you seem pretty normal. Like you write that you had a good dad. Like, how did you write that? And honestly, Joel, I think what I've gotten a front row seat into is my mom's life, my wife, both had absent fathers.
Right.
Not necessarily because they weren't there, but just because they didn't know how to be present. And I talk about that there's a lot of dads that unfortunately feel like they're around all the time, but if you ask their adult kids once they're grown, they would say things like, "Well, my dad wasn't around much,"
Right. Right.
because they just don't know how to be present. And so I think I watched in my mom's life and in my wife's life that the pain of the lack of a dad never goes away. And you're always looking for that affirmation from dad. You're always looking for that, those words of life and identity and blessing that come only from a dad. Dads can't speak like moms. Moms can't speak like dads. There's something unique about the voice and the words of a dad and the blessings of dad. And that's the scriptural principle,
Right.
that if you don't get them when you're young, you will look for them in all kinds of different places. And that actually led to this other idea about the surrogate dad that we wrote about too, where Holly actually wrote a bit of her story in that.
Mm-hmm.
And that is that this book isn't just for biological dads. This book is just for men to rise up and love sons and daughters with the heart of a good father, because there's so many orphans out there that either didn't have good dads or for whatever reason, they just are desperate for that heart of a dad in their lives.